Hello and welcome to Creative Sewing. I'm Aideen Cross and this is my creative sewing workshop space in Rathangan. I'm here today going to show you how to make some masks, and I'm sure it's high time we all start getting and using masks in this time where germs and viruses are prevalent. Okay, and masks are a great way of keeping safe when you're out and about, and I'm certainly sure we all should have one to hand. This is the one we're going to be making today. It's a little pleated mask, 2 layers of cotton, it's what's required, easy breathable. There's a lot of different designs out there and they're all great, and it just depends on what suits you and what feels comfortable. This one has the ear loops. Certainly you can always make it with the loop, the elastic to go around the back of the head too. It can be quite easily done. Now we have the pleats done there today on the two little layers of cotton. Now just to get started on that and what you will need for it, you will need the cotton fabric, of course. Now you might have a bit of cotton at home, or that you do a bit of sewing, you have some cotton. If not, you can use some pillowcases. Certainly everybody would have some cotton pillowcases that you might have around the house, and certainly they're perfect for using. They've been washed, and that is actually ideal to have it pre-washed as well. It would be great washed and ironed. And if not, I mean, maybe even to maybe recycle maybe into something, maybe like a cotton dress that you're not using and you wanted to use that washed, and it can be used. Okay, so the design that I have here, literally that's it, and just even put it on to give you an idea how it fits in around the ears, like so, and now that's it. And me with glasses now, it seems to be perfect. Yeah, and you could turn it up at the bottom if you thought you want to be a little bit more snug fit, but certainly it seems to be a good fit and quite easily put on and quite easily taken off then as well. And of course, rules to using masks are as well, you have your mask, try and keep it in a small plastic bag when you have it cleaned and washed. Put it on by not touching the inside of it. Place it on the face, looping it around the ears. Try to do not be touching your hands up to your mask to refit it, just for cross contamination with germs and that. And when you're taking it off, take it off quite clearly, just straight down, fold it over, and have a plastic bag, a clean plastic bag, to place it back in, rather than throwing it somewhere and maybe picking up more germs. And then washing. Washing can be done with your ordinary daily wash, but I'd really recommend that you'd maybe hand wash it with a very hot, maybe we say 40 degrees, to certainly wash any germs away. With light detergent as well, and wrung out well, rinsed well, wrung out well, and then maybe drip dry and hang on a little bit of a hanger somewhere that it will dry. And then of course, as soon as it's dry, fully dry, then fold it over and back into a little clean bag ready for use again. Okay, so I think we'll get started on that then today. I'm going to use a piece of fabric that I have here, something the same one as this, nice colourful piece of fabric. Now the size you will need then is, I have it here on an A4 paper, I've written out 25 centimetres this way and 16 centimetres that way, right? Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. There it is, that's my pattern, and I have to cut my pattern out that, just draw it down in 25 centimetres, 16 centimetres. Now we're going to need two of those in cotton, cut 2. So what I'm going to do is, of course, cut out my pattern first, and before I spread it out on my fabric. Okay, just leave that over there. So we have our fabric here, and we're going to use a bit of cotton for the lining then. I like to use white then for the lining, so we're going to use a little bit of cotton from a pillowcase then. Okay, so I'm just going to cut a square out of that, just so we can use it. Okay, quite quickly. Now, so we can cut the 2 of these out together, so we can put that down on top, getting it quite level, and then using our pattern then piece then and pinning and cutting then all around. Okay. Now, most of you probably will have a sewing machine at home. If not, it can be done by hand. It's just take your time, a little bit of a running stitch by hand. They can be sewn by hand. If not, if you want to get certainly a loan of a machine, it'd be great. And you can always make one for a friend as well, because they make great gifts in these times. They're very sought after and very much appreciated for the gift of a mask, indeed. This size of one is for medium lady size. So certainly if you want to enlarge it or anything, you can give it slightly, just a little bit more width, a little bit more depth, or even for a gent as well, the same as, it'll be a little bit of trial and error just to see what's at, and reduce it in, of course, then for children then as well. Ideally children under the age of 3 shouldn't wear masks. They recommend it's not suitable. So, but now you could adjust slightly, but make your first one in the standard size, I think the medium size, and then you work up or work down from there, I suppose, as you get used to doing them. That is our pattern done, and now with that measurements we have a centimetre seam allowance all around, allowance on it, okay? So where we want to sew first is literally along that part there and along this part here. Now, and leaving the ends open, but we're also going to leave a little opening in the center as well, because we want to and we're going to be putting elastic and sewing up the ends, but we will be turning it. So I'm going to mark 2 little dots there for us to leave a little opening there for turning it in later on. So literally cross there down to the dot, from the dot down there and right down along the end. So I just done a straight stitch then up the machine, a centimetre seam allowance, 2 stitches on back stitch, then yeah, leaving my gap, and again for the other dot, and back stitch there as well. Okay, now, and that's it there, and we've left our little piece in the centre. Just get rid of some of those pieces there, little piece in the centre. Oh, now we have the other side to do. Now, so that's the two sides done. 2 sides done. Just give you a look at what we've done there. Top and bottom, one of the pieces with a little gap in the top of it. Now we're ready to do our elastic. Okay, so our piece of elastic. Okay, they're very sought after at the moment. Very hard to get elastic. You might have a bit at home. If not, you can use some bobbins. There'll be 2 bobbins at the end, but they are a little bit more difficult to use, I suppose, as you can use in bobbins. What you can use, even if you want to recycle, go and look up some clothes that you'll be throwing out or doesn't fit anymore. You might see an old raincoat maybe with elastic in the bottom of it. You might be able to reuse a piece of that, take some out of it, and do that as well. So we're going to measure this. So we need 2 pieces of 17 centimetres. Okay, so 17 centimetres. Okay, and cut from this side. Now, and the other one then the same. Right, so that's our 2 pieces of elastic. So what we do with that then is we place that in here. Okay, so we're going to place it in either end. Okay, in between the 2 layers. Okay, we have that layered up 2 right sides together. That's the way we sewed it. 2 right sides together. Okay, and then we sewed down either side just to go back on what we did already. Okay, now we're placing the elastic in here as close to the edge. Okay, as close to the edge there, peeking up, and we're going to put the pin in, and we're going to put the pin in that we can actually take it out as well before we sew. And just get it in that. Now, so there we are. So that's what it'll look like, a little piece of elastic sticking up. Now you want to make sure you have it nice and flat. So check your elastic, you have no twists or turns in it. And putting it in there, again, right over to the other end, right over to the other side. Okay, and keeping it nice and straight and level. And again, another pin in there. Okay. Now, so you have 2 pieces of elastics in between and looped around then in between. And again, on the other side, the same again. Okay, and then we're ready then to sew the ends then. We're sewing right across the end, and remembering doing a good back stitch, because this elastic remembering not to get curled, keep it nice and flat. The elastic will be the one that's holding it onto your face, so you want a good back stitch, a good heavy stitch on it there as well. Okay, so let's stitch that across there again to the ends. All right, so lifting our pin out, a good back stitch there. Again, a centimetre seam allowance on that is perfect. Again, take out your pin and a good back stitch on that as well. All right. Now, that's that piece sewn and the little bit of elastic is in it. Now we just do the other side as well. This is a very quick and easy mask to make. It should be suitable for any beginners and improvers too, and a back stitch there too. Okay, right, so that's all sorted there. Next thing to do is actually turn it in the right way. Okay, so just with the little hole that you left, turn everything in the right way, and you're looking for your loops now. Okay, so there's your loops, and you can use the loops to pull out your corners for you. And so it's very handy. And that's it all done there so far. Okay, and what we need to do next is, that's your little opening, to kind of fold that back in. We'll give it a bit of a press. We'll have the iron on here and just give it a bit of a press then at this stage. And just get it flattened all down. Okay, so that's it flattened all down and nice and neat. Okay, now I like to fold it in half just to give me a halfway marking at this stage when we're on the iron. So just fold it in half. It'll just do a bit of a crease in it for you, and it'll just give you some indication when we go to do the pleats. I just have a crease in the center long ways. Okay, but before we do that, I'm going to top stitch all around the edges and with the machine, and it'll close up that bit of a hole as well. So up on your machine and somewhere close to the edge, just a little stitch the whole way around. Okay, just keep it quite close, and of course it'll reinforce the elastic on the corners and the ends again. It'll be another bit of stitching on that, and it will certainly just gel it all together, I suppose, and make it a little bit stronger for you as well. Okay. But these are great. Masks are certainly something that we could all do using daily, or have one to hand there. You never know when you go into a crowded place and you might need one. So, and people are feeling a little bit nervous going out and greeting people in crowds, and that, and it puts people at ease if they have a mask on. And of course the cotton ones are very breathable, very easy to wear and very comfortable. Now, okay, so that's it all around with the top stitching. Just to give you an idea, on the wrong side, see where my stitching is. It's a flat piece, 2 ear pieces then as well. Now we're down to the pleats. Okay, so what the pleats are. So what we're going to do now is, I have my halfway mark. I'll half it again, just there like that. Okay, just by hand. Okay, in between the two. And if you fold it by hand, just peek it up like that and bring it over to the halfway mark that you originally folded. Okay, so a little bit of a fold down. Okay, that's it. Pinning, and I always pin, if I'm stitching this way, I would pin the opposite way, just so we can take the pins up quite easily. So, and the same, that's what it should look like there now. Okay, into the center, fold it into the center where my crease is in the center there, and again fold that last other half of it, fold that in half, and fold it down to nearly to the end, okay. So you're looking for 2 folds in it, and then we're going to stitch it across the ends, and then that's it, literally finished then at that stage. Okay, so that's it then. You could fold it right down to the end. So up on the machine then, and stitching right over the ends of that. Now you already have stitching there where you did your top stitching, so you're kind of stitching on top of that again. Just kind of, now it is kind of thickish, but I'm giving it a good stitch, and especially over that elastic again. You can't get enough coverage in that elastic just to make it secure, and that, okay. And taking out your pins, and the other side. And then we're, but certainly using the pillowcases is great, or sheets or that, you know, if you don't have cotton, because they are cotton and it's the best breathable fabric to be using, and to keep us safe then with something that we can wear over our faces. Okay. Now, okay, so that's it done there now, and that's it, the finished product. Okay, so maybe just to try it on again there for you, over the ears, again, yeah, around over the ears there now, and that's it, all nice and neat. Now that fits me quite well. I'm quite happy with the fit of that. And of course to wear it up over the nose as well for the good coverage on it. Okay, so literally that's our pattern and our tutorial for face masks. And for this particular one, I'm certainly doing another one then maybe with a different style. Okay, so again, just for the pattern, just to run through it again, the pattern is cut 2 of cotton. Okay, and the size then you need for the for it is the 27 centimeters by 16, 27 by 16. Okay, so cut 2 of them, and your elastic is 17 centimeters. Now you might want to adjust that depending on how comfortable you want it, and you can actually put a little fold in the elastic if you wanted, if you thought it was a little bit loose as well. Okay, but I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and it's been some help to you, and get going at making them for yourself and your family and friends, and certainly for everybody to stay safe there. And thank you for watching, and mind yourselves.